Hey there, guys. So today I want to talk about something that, if you know me, you've heard me talk about for several years now. If not, I even have a video about it. What? About how AI is knocking out the sick care scam. And I'm so happy about it. And I can't wait for them to get hit even harder. And by extension, they're going to get the university system is going to be knocked out. These are the most indoctrinated groups of human society. Everything about them is different old rituals that they're repeating, and they don't even know what they're doing. You see a bunch of Saturn worship and things like that. And going back to this pandemic, it proves without a shadow of a doubt that these people, all they do is parrot what they learn, the spells, the grimoire they refer to. They don't care about helping people. They don't care about healing people. They just want to fill in their pockets. They're the most degenerate people society. Proof. Number one, we all know the meme with the nurses. The nurses, the most, what's the word? Not good women. Promiscuous, right? Doing all these things. They're all single moms. That shit is going to get me banned. Anyways, and you have the doctors running the harem, or the harems, however you want to say it. And they're banking all the nurses. They're using their status to go get all these women. And because of what they've done, they're the important people of society. But anyways, again, now they're worried because, again, AI is coming for their jobs. They're not really helping people. That AI is proving the inefficiencies that is in the market, especially when it comes to healthcare. It's a euphemism. It's really sick care. Nobody healthy goes to the doctor. You only go there when you're sick. Healthy people don't need their service, right? So there's an economic incentive to keep people sick and profit off the sick people. I don't even want to get too into that. A lot of people talk about it, have discussed it, proved it, all of that. But my point is that they're getting hit, and when they get hit, what's the next thing that's going to be hit is the root. What is the root? The university system, the ultimate scam. Because what if the university system produced? They're preparing people now for jobs that do not exist. Not that they will not exist. They're preparing people now for jobs that have been wiped out. Again, AI has highlighted the inefficiencies of education, especially when it comes to college. It's all about accreditation. It's not about getting people with actual skills and having them make more money, or the myth of if you have a college degree, you're going to make $1 million more in your lifetime. Again, what has been the result of the modern college system? A bunch of people who are educated in things that don't help them live a better life. A lot of people are on anxiety. You look at universities, people are getting shot up. Everyone is turning into a professional protester. Massive amount of debt. The students are all bearing that burden. They've been lied to. They've been scammed. They've been programmed from day one to go into the university system. And then what has been going on? The universities have made more money than ever. The big universities like Harvard and Yale, they have billion-dollar endowments. They have more money than many countries. Whatever that means. That's insane. So what colleges have done, or their goal, is to basically enforce a caste system. Harvard was created specifically to have the leaders of society and embed them everywhere. And you see them. A good example is John Kerry versus George Bush. Skull and Bones versus Skull and Bones. Saying the same thing, guys. So I'm very excited about the end of it. And it has to happen. So everybody worried, oh, well, how are people going to go to school? Well, these things are going to provide, we have to be creative because there's no stopping it. So we have to create solutions with the tools that we have at hand. For example, me as a parent, I've been able to homeschool more efficiently thanks to using AI tools. I mean, I'm able to plan ahead, or, anything that I want to do, I can work on it very quickly. I've used it to make books, to make art for my lessons, help it make my lesson plan. For example, um, you can prompt AI to specifically create a lesson plan for the age group that you're looking for in this topic, and you can, and I ask it also, give me homework, give me games, give me follow-up questions, and I kind of go from there, right? And it helps me with the things I already know, because I'm already I've been pretty good at teaching children. But anyhow, point is, I love it. And here's the next level thing. I say it jokingly, but really I feel it like that. I can't wait for things to turn around, especially for the doctors. Because when I was in the Dominican Republic, these people were the first ones to push the narrative. And they became the big heroes of society. They get to violate the curfews, they get to do whatever they want, they get the applause, and they're not paying the consequences for all the heart attacks, they're not paying the consequences for all the fraud, they're not paying the consequences that the fucking nose thing was a fraud, they're not paying the consequences the vaccine was a financial fraud beginning to end, they're not paying the consequences that now has been exposed that it was inefficient, that it was a fraud, it was all based on fear. Everything that I said in 2020 that I got mocked, laughed at, and all these other things. So, and then it came when you refused to get vaccinated. You were a fucking degenerate asshole. You hated children. You hated the old people. You deserved to die. You were a psychopath. I got denied service to food, water, everything. Right? It was absurd. So how do we make it pay? We have to go on the offensive. How do we make them pay for it? And I've been thinking, do the same thing, make things very hard for them. Now, charge them 5 times, 10 times for the same service. You don't have to neglect them all the way. We have to financially break them. And then I was like, no. This is too much. And then I went with Grok, and I had so much fun. And we basically laid out a plan to invert the PSYOP and throw it back to destroy the doctors, to destroy the universities, to destroy the school system. And it's basically, you have the time bomb, the left. The left is the nuke. Everybody's scared of the left. And you got to take them and put the George Floyd symbol at Yale. So we got to weaponize, again, who are these deans making all this money? Why do universities have all these endowments? You make them hate DEI. How do you make them hate DEI? You put in the rumors. It could be a fabricated person. This is for entertainment, guys. Just in case, just how Grok told me. This is entertainment. But again, think about it. How do we break DEI? We take a DEI person from a major university. And the thing is, these things already happened. So they created a huge fucking fraud. They stole a bunch of money. And they got the big houses. They got the BLM, the buy large mansions, right? And Mr. fucking communist, Mr. Antifa foot soldier, he got college debt. He's trying to get transgender. Trump took away the health care, all the problems. But look at these guys, the CEO, the people with the money, Harvard, it's a school. You get where I'm going with this? It's the dean, it's the university president. And you create the same thing that the CIA does. And we fan the flames. And we make them go boom! Right at the feet of Harvard. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. And yeah, so once you take away the university system, the sick care falls apart too. It has to, because that's with the whole accreditation system. That's where the cult of Saturn really is embedded. That's where the heart of the mind control to make people stupid, dependent, useless, um, unable to be creative. They just want to regurgitate things. They hate anything different. They, yeah, I'm not even gonna go with that. Point is, fifth, you got to think like a strategist. You got to apply fifth generation warfare tactics and use, like Yuri Bezmenov said, who is the worst enemy of the system is the same leftist, because then they wake up to what the fuck happened. And they've been trained for violence, so they're going to just flip it over. That's kind of why I think like they're trying to throw the transgender people under the bus now. I think there's an effort to make, look at them, the transgender, look, the transgender bullet and everything. And that's probably all a glow operation, a glow op, glow boys activated. And they are filming, getting these things to get the transgender foot soldiers, say, look, our rights. And people, and down on the other side, people are like, yeah, it's the trannies. They're up to no good. And then the trannies get wiped out. And they're not a threat to the system anymore. And then whatever took out the tranny, then they could be used as, you know, that's the next thing that they would say, like, these people are bad actors. Look at that. They wiped out the transgender. They're degenerates. Then you wipe out that competition. And that's how the top of the pyramid preserves itself, by making everything at the bottom fight amongst itself. So I hope you understand what I'm saying of taking this pyramid here. Look, they're going to say Illuminati confirmed. Whatever. I'm just using the symbol. But you take the pyramid, right, and use the same tactic. Be the sovereign. Use the spiritual alchemy. When you're like, hold on, wait a minute. You're at the top of the pyramid. You're the eye at the top of the pyramid. Make the CIA destroy itself. Within evil is embedded the seeds of its own destruction. So I think this is a good way of thinking things now in the landscape of fifth generation warfare, of trying to preserve cognitive sovereignty in the age of AI, and being a Renaissance person of the 21st century, that you need to be aware of tech, nature, especially nature, because again, the NPC, the indoctrinated, the person who has graduated into the various degrees between the school system, they're factory humans in every way. So I know I made this very broad. I'm shooting from the hip right here. All right, partner, shooting from the hip here. I hope you found it of value and entertaining. I'd love to hear what you think about it, and what you think about universities, schools, the sick care system. What's your approach to it? What's your approach to fifth generation warfare? And if not, if you think like, well, what's fifth gen? I'd love to talk more about it and cognitive sovereignty. And really, this is the warfare of the 21st century. We really have to think this way, guys. Think the way of the strategist. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have blessed day, blessed evening. Doesn't matter the time you're watching this. From there on, forward into the future. Take care.